While you're still watching Daybreak here on Rise News, and it's time for the press preview. But first, a look at what's on the front pages as they get ours. We start usually with this sister publication. In battle against independent monetary policy, House threatens Emefiele. Banks to lawmakers. We're getting new banknotes, dispensing through ATMs. CBN sustains sensitization, monitoring of cash swap policy. A Naira redesign project seeks traditional rulers' support ahead of January 31 deadline. Then Article to DSS, well before that, Tinubu, I'll resettle Benue IDPs, clear backlog of workers' salaries. With a rider accuses PDP of sabotaging fuel supply. Article to DSS, ex-Lagos governor planning revolution, riots, and just above this day logo. Mafab launches 5G network 13 months after obtaining license. CBN stops dollar charges on domestic card transactions.
Over now to the Punch newspaper, and it's leading with this: mega churches, schools bar all Naira note payments and offering. The new note shortage forces banks to shut ATMs and customers demand an extension. Katsina youths protest hardship, stone officials during Buhari's visit. AGF pays $446 million at Jokuta judgment debt, and traders bemoan losses as fire guts Lagos market.
Right, the Sun, Daily Sun. Elections, military warns troublemakers, vows to deal decisively with those plotting to scuttle polls, pledges neutrality. The Sun Awards, Oshoba is chairman and all that. Okay, 300 Nigerians renounce citizenship in 2022. That's the FG talking there. No leader can create new Nigeria overnight. This is coming from Obasanjo. Protesters block Lagos Benin Road over fuel price hike scarcity. Cashless policy gains traction as CBN unveils domestic card payments. And Buhari urges Nigerians to reject politicians who drag nation back to corruption.
And now to other papers. This is The Guardian. It says, stampede as Nigerians tackle CBN deadline on cash swap. ICPC uncovers fresh evidence against and rearrests ex-JAMB registrar Ojerinde Ogoni after 7 years. Residents lament slow pace of cleanup.
All right, now we'll go to foreign papers. I think that is, what's his name again I'm looking at there? That's the Times, sorry. Foreign papers, the Times. I'm trying to get this guy's name, the rock star. About PM's foreign student plan to show, yeah, Rod Stewart, yeah, you're correct. PM's foreign student plan to show up economy. That's on the Times.
The Financial Times, hardline, deadly Israeli raid stirs strife. Rolls-Royce's new chief sees group as burning platform that depletes value.
All right, let's look at the Independent. Now tax chief damns Zahawi. We don't find innocent people. Rockets rain down as Russia retaliates against pledge to send Ukraine tanks.
And in the art paper, Zahawi hands over tax returns as Tories urge him to go now.
All right, so we're bringing Emmanuel Bello. I think they'll usually say TGIF.
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God's a Friday for those who don't work on it.
You guys are looking ready for the Friday.
Well, thank God for his mercies and grace.
Correct.
Glad to have you join us.
Happy to be here.
Yes.
Emmanuel. Ken was showing me this morning. Can show it to me.
Finally.
Naira notes.
You got some.
I lay my hands on the
And he showed it to me. I think I should have picked them, when he showed it to me. I gave it back to him. I'm a good guy, All right, well, let's look at this day. In battle against independent monetary policy, House threatens Emefiele. Just watched it a while ago while he was saying Emefiele didn't want to come. Emefiele said he had a plan to travel with the president. Well, Tinubu Our resettled Benno IDPs, clear backlog of worker salaries. He's accusing PDP of sabotaging fuel supply. And just above that, Atiku to DSS, ex-Lagos governor, planning revolution, riots. And I think you should take this. Well, CBN stops dollar charges on domestic card transactions. Let me read one or two riders there. Emefiele unveils new national card scheme. Afrigo says initiative to boost financial inclusion, enhance data sovereignty, offer lower charges and others. All right, take your pick, Emmanuel Bello.
No, well, I think in a fine way, I think these stories are related. Atiku going to the DSS, Atiku writing the DSS or alerting the DSS that there's a plan for some form of insurrection and revolution. That is pretty big. And I'm happy it's on the front page, but it looks like a huge story for me. But yes, to the rave of the moment, the issue of those notes and the crisis of Emefiele and CBN, well, that's a good lead too, especially because now there seems to be, it's gone beyond just what you and I ordinarily looking for monies to spend, to what look as if it's at the heart of the presidential election. And the APC candidate actually made it so from his Abeokuta's presentation, where he said that the redesigning of this currency, and even it's the fact that we don't have the old notes will not become legal tenders very soon. That it's all part and parcel of the ploy to stop him. And I think that is where the call by the House of Reps, the Speaker, to say he's going to arrest Emefiele. A lot of people yesterday when I was
to issue a warrant,
of arrest. To Emefiele, though it doesn't have the constitutional basis to do that. There's no place in the constitution for him to actually do that, because the CBN, by constitution, is actually an independent body that is free from any kind of incumbrancy. Of course, Emefiele is a human being, but if you're going to arrest him because of the kind of work he does, then you have to battle with the crisis of the independence. He's been, the warrant of arrest is about his decisions, which is a government policy. So we have a situation here where it looks as if Emefiele gets a lot of protection from the president, while some agents of the federal government want him arrested. There's been talk about courts asking him to come over. There's been talk about the DSS wanting to, but DSS has actually wrongly denied that it's a professional body, doesn't do that. But Emefiele has come right into the middle of this whole crisis, but he seemed to be enjoying a lot of support and protection from the president. Even this now, but the reason he couldn't appear before the House of the Reps that he's gone out with the president on an official trip. So you have the president, it's a very curious kind of turn of events. The president has his man in place. The policy is a presidential one, it's a federal government policy, and the president is with Emefiele. While it looks as if some, kind of agents, especially because the speaker is APC. He works, he's from that party, and he's seen rambling as a Tinubu's boy. And it appears that the attack on Emefiele seems to be now coming from a particular direction. So this is what makes it very curious. It's not even good. It's not also good for the APC as a government that within its own government you have this discontent, tunes coming all around. There seems to be a disconnect from what the agent of government are doing, and of course what the government itself is pushing as a policy. The Attorney General yesterday seemed to have given what looks like a retort to what Tinubu was saying about the election, saying that this government is ready for elections and that they are going to be transparent, even when Atiku is suggesting that Tinubu is already panicking and freaking out and saying that, look, they want to score to the election. So it seems to be a mild rebuke again coming from the government itself, because a lot of people are beginning to see an APC on APC kind of clash, and not, curiously yesterday in the it was the PDP that seemed to be defending the president, and that is a very, very curious turn of events. So everything seemed to be happening almost at the same time, but as it is, Emefiele is saying that he's traveled out of town, and we're reporting that constitutionally he has the independence to be able to carry out the kind of things is going. But in the midst of all that is the human angle story that all the other papers are covering, the scarcity of what Kenneth just gleefully, showed of. That scarcity is there, and Nigerians are groaning and talking about it.
Not only the naira is scarce, Emmanuel, even petrol.
Petrol.
And the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate, still speaking during his campaign, alleges, he says that the PDP is responsible for the scarcity. Apparently, that during their time in power, they awarded most of the petroleum licenses to their friends and cronies, and they gave them out. So everyone who's controlling petroleum resources now is a PDP member, and that's why we have petrol scarcity. Does it follow?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, Indy was actually chuckling when you were saying that, because I mean, it calls for a chuckle. It's almost comical to say that in a government that has been there in the last 8 years, you can actually still blame the PDP or its agents as responsible for ensuring that there is no petroleum or anything. In any case, the Minister of Petroleum is the president. You've got the Minister of State for Petroleum. Strong APC leaders who are there, in charge of whatever is happening there. A 14-man panel, for instance, be set up. I'm not holding brief for the PDP. They have people to defend themselves. But it's curious, kind of, to think that yes, the kind of problem we're having is caused by the PDP. And I see a situation where Tinubu and his men are trying to walk back what happened in Abeokuta, what he said there. Because while he didn't mention any name, the way he sounded at Abeokuta, it didn't sound day before yesterday as if he was talking about the PDP or anyone else. He seemed to be directing, if you listen to what he said, most of it in Yoruba, seemed to be saying they, are trying to scuttle and everything. It was later, I think, that his spin doctors were trying to work it out and say, look, they were referring to PDP. And that makes it even more absurd, like you were saying. Makes it more, curious that you say the people
how powerful is the PDP?
That they could do that, because everything is about policy. It's about leadership. It's not just about the supply chain. It is the kind of seriousness and the kind of hard, stance you take as a government to control this. So. A government is not a government if you can say that, look, some other fifth columnists, people beyond, of course, there is going to be sabotage, but that's essentially where you have leadership. You have leadership because you want a situation where you can control troublemakers, you can control saboteurs, you can control people doing some things. That's where you have leadership. When you abdicate that position and you blame the fifth columnists and you say, oh, this is sabotage and you couldn't do everything, that is the very reason why probably people will say maybe you don't have a right to continue to be there. You should leave if you cannot do it. People didn't vote in the saboteurs. Nigerians couldn't care less if some people are doing some things. They voted in a government that is supposed to take charge and be able to deal with the problems. And that's why it's called the social contract. I give you my vote, I give you my freedom, so in exchange of some form of control, some form of leadership from you. So it's the government itself is not coming out to say the problem is not from us, the problem is from the PDP. It is the candidate, and this is what makes it a bit curious. It's the candidate who insists that, look, this problem is coming from the main opposition party. They're the one bringing about the issue of the scarcity of the redesigned currency. They're the one causing the disaffection in the country. I mean, it begs the question. Yesterday, I saw some of the spokespersons of the opposition party actually parrying away all of that and making a very huge laugh out of it. But some people are also saying, I'm beginning to hear people saying that, look, if the APC candidate continuously say this, then it needs to be investigated. Who is he really talking about? Who are the people doing this? Does he have a point there, or is he trying to walk back what seemed to be a very disastrous comment that a lot of people think that it's an implosion, that the APC candidate is actually fighting the APC government around these matters?
Well, thank you so much, Emefiele. That's the press preview. Let's hear your view on all the burning issues. Follow us on Twitter at Arise TV. You can join today's conversation using the hashtag Arise Daybreak.